Hi, I'm Max.
And I'm Skylar.
Recently, we decided to start watching Bob's Burgers to see what it was all about.
And it didn't take us long to become completely obsessed with the show.
But one of the things we love the most about the show is the brilliant end credit sequences.
Which is why we created this podcast.
Each week, we're going episode by episode to talk about the elaborate end credits.
We're excited to have you join us right here on Bob's Credits.
We'll make sure the Bob's Burgers end credits get the credit they're due.
All right!
Chip, 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 chipperoo, roo, roo, chipperoo, roo, roo, chipperoo.
I had no idea your voice could go that low.
It's my oh god.
Oh god, I love it. You could be a baritone.
I looked up some doo-wop songs.
Yeah.
And Duke of Earl.
I love it.
What a great song, right?
Yeah, you're throwing
And that
it back
baritone
again.
in the I wish I could have been in one of those doo-wop groups. It's just that guy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would love to have been the guy who says Duke Duke in the background.
What's the remember when we were in the car the other day and we were talking about Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas?
Yeah, that girl did that one, like, I think it was a Twitter video because it was before TikTok. It was from a few years ago. And yeah, she said, like, she was like what's the deep voice?
Isn't it baritone?
Yeah, it's one of the deeper ones.
Yeah.
She says that in that song, all they do is go, and I,
all through the song.
Yeah.
That's it. I just you never think about things like that. I love hearing.
That's all I want. I want to be in just put me in a a cappella group and let me be the bass.
Let you be the and I.
Yeah, that's all I care about. I'm simple. Hello, welcome to Bob's Credits, everyone. We've missed you.
We're back for another episode.
It's been a long week without you, my friends. Before we get into anything, we have some new Patreon subscribers to thank and also make burger pun names out of. Are you ready to do this thing, Skylar?
I'm ready. First
First of all, we want to thank you, Lady Applesauce. First of all, I want to thank you for making this easy on us. Second, your burger pun name is the Pink Lady Applesauce Burger, topped with Pink Lady apples, hand mashed by Gene himself.
No, I hope he washed his hands.
I can't promise that.
Thank you so much. We enjoy having you more than you know.
Absolutely. Next up is April Hun. April, from now on, you will be known as the April Honey Glazed Ham Burger.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's not a hamburger. It's got honey glazed ham on the burger.
It's like the turducken of burgers.
Yeah, except there's no turkey or duck.
And April...
Oh, you got Biscuits chiming in here. What a surprise.
Biscuit wanted to say thank you. April is a nurse and has been on the front lines of the pandemic. And we appreciate you more than you know.
Thank you so much, April, for everything you've done. And thank you so much for supporting us. And finally, we have got Michael Huff. Thank you, Michael. You, from now on, will be known as the Michael Stuffed Cheddar Burger. Stuffed.
Yeah, I was like...
Stuffed with a T. I don't know why I did that. The stuffed.
I love a stuffed burger.
Oh,
like anything stuffed with cheese, I'm just like, yes. It tastes the same as cheese just being on top.
No, it doesn't. You get it in the... Oh, it's so good. It's a different experience.
Thank you,
altogether.
Michael. We're so glad you're joining us.
So thank you to everyone for supporting us on there, for joining us on there. Again, we're at patreon.com/Bob's Credits. If you want your name burger pun on the show, plus get all of our bonus episodes, discounted merchandise, all that fun stuff, or early access to merchandise, our merch is coming up. It's, our $5 tier on there. Just subscribe and...
it'll be worth it.
Yep.
I have to say, Max and I have been working so hard on like Patreon and tech stuff and like to get to just sit down and do the fun part and what we love, which is just chatting Bob's Burgers with you It's just refreshing and delightful, and I'm so glad we're here.
Me too. Like, I was super stressed leading up to
Oh my
right when we
gosh,
sat
you
down,
were
but now
talking to yourself. You were so stressed.
there's so much to do. There's so much to do when you have a podcast that you want to put out weekly. It just really is a lot.
Max was just mumbling.
I was-
The mic was on, and so my headphones were on, and he was just like, I'm just so stressed. I'm just so stressed. And I was just like, didn't say anything. I was like, I'm taking myself out of this narrative.
I call out burger puns in my sleep.
Tormented by burger puns.
They keep coming and they keep coming. And I've got to keep doing them.
Please keep coming to our Patreon. Patreon.com/BobsCredits.
Yeah, I love punning.
Mm-hmm.
I love making your name's burger puns. I love doing our burger puns, which we should do right now. Are you ready?
Yes, ours. Yes, let's go.
Are you ready to play Bob?
I'm ready.
I'm
ready, Max.
I want to say the title of it. Are you ready to play Bob Pun or Max Pun?
Yes.
Okay. These are themed.
My brain is mush.
Well, people who clicked on it know the title of this episode,
which is Adventures in Chinchilla-sitting.
which is a pun or a parody of Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah.
This is like such a stretch, by the way, which is a movie starring Elizabeth Shue, who you know I love.
Yes.
And who you love.
Yes.
So these are all, let's say, Elizabeth Shue adjacent puns.
What?
They're like from Elizabeth Shue movies.
Okay, so like 80s movies?
Yeah.
You couldn't have just said these are 80s
No, because
movies?
she is in the movies.
She's in all of them.
It's not just 80s movies.
I was hoping it would be chinchilla themed, but you know.
Yeah, that would have been fun too, but I couldn't get Elizabeth Shue out of my brain. Okay, your first pun is the saffron saff-off burger. Because she was in the Karate Kid.
Cobra Kai, y'all.
Cobra
Who
Kai.
watched it? Who spent their January, the first week of the new year, binging Cobra Kai?
First day.
It was just a great way to start the year. Can you repeat it?
The saffron saff-off burger.
Max.
Bob.
I was going to say that.
Your next pun is the Back in Time burger. THYME, as in Back to the Future 2 and 3.
Max.
Which she played Jennifer in. She was a replacement. Little Back to the Future trivia for you there. She's like, shut up, Max. Your next pun is the Adventures in Baby Spinach Sitting burger.
Max.
Yes. And your final pun is the Bayleafing Las Vegas burger.
Ooh. Oh. Max.
Yes. I think she won an Academy Award for that. No, Nicolas Cage did, but she was nominated.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, great movie. Very depressing, but great performances by both of them.
You learn so much on this podcast.
That's what I'm here for. Any of your Nicolas Cage, Elizabeth Shue trivia.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Those are all the puns. Are you ready to dive into this episode?
I'm ready.
Skylar, can we have the title, even though we already got it, and synopsis for Season 5, Episode 15, please?
All right. The title is Adventures in Chinchilla-sitting. It's date night for Linda and Bob, which means Tina is left to babysit Jean and Louise and Louise's class chinchilla. Everything goes great until Princess Little Piddles escapes and Bob takes Linda to trivia night.
Oh, man.
Womp womp.
Man. This episode came out on March 15th, 2015. It was written by Mike Benner and directed by Cecilia Aranovich.
New director?
I think so. I don't think we've seen her yet.
Okay.
We'll keep an eye out for more of hers.
Cool. Question.
I'll have an answer.
Before we get into this Louise-headed chinchilla episode, how do you feel about Bob taking Linda to date night?
At trivia?
At trivia.
It's not the best date night.
I don't want to feel stupid on my date night. I want to feel like one of a kind.
But what if you won trivia?
I wouldn't. I'm horrible at
what if
trivia.
we cheated and won, just like they do in the show?
I can't cheat. I can't.
You'd look so guilty if we were sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would sweat like Tina.
Game face, Skylar. Game face. Skylar,
No,
you're giving
to
it
be fair,
away.
I don't think you could cheat either in a public setting.
I could do it, game face.
Really?
Yeah. Look, this is it.
You
This
seem
is
like
it.
a cautious. You have a whole mic in front of your face. I can't see anything.
Well,
I find you to be a very cautious person.
maybe trivia, I would do it.
Okay.
Because bar trivia is so stakes are so low.
No, I think it's like, to me, it's just like a bunch of white men ready to be like, you're wrong.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it in the episode,
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah, it's not my idea of a date night. I don't want to do that. So don't worry, I'm not going to bring you to that for our date night.
I give props to Bob, though. I think he really was trying. He just didn't quite get it.
I would take you to a Bob's Burgers themed trivia.
Oh my gosh. It's just like the pressure's just like so on.
Yeah, well, you're
and
the
then I
host
feel like
of
I
the
have
Bob's
to
Burgers
work.
podcast. Yeah.
And like network. I don't want to network on. Oh my
Don't
God,
worry.
I'm sweating.
Don't worry.
Oh my
I'm not going
God.
to take you.
I'm sweating.
It's not like we can go anyway. Okay, so the date night portion of the story is pretty sad. What about the chinchilla-sitting? Everything that happens there.
I like this episode. It's not like my top, but I love this episode, and we need to have a phrase for it. But this is another Louise is a gooey cookie heart, little sweet angel.
Yeah, there's a moment at the end where Bob kind of calls out. I love when Bob calls out Louise for having a heart.
Mm-hmm.
We'll play it because it's the clip right before the end credits when we get to them. But it's so funny when she's like, she gets so defensive when he's like, I see you.
Yeah.
I see the real you there.
And Bob really does see her.
Yeah.
Such a good dad. How do you feel? I feel like, the writers, they come back to kind of this plot. There's a scheme. Louise's conscience gets really loud. She does the right thing. It's so sweet. How do you feel about that, mechanism?
It's a formula that I love.
I love it too.
Do it as many times as you need to. I love it. I love that Tina is always around to kind of Louise is going to get to where Tina feels immediately. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how Tina feels immediately about doing something mischievous.
Yeah.
Is how Louise is eventually going to feel about it at the end.
Exactly.
So it's funny to watch
and Jean's
them.
just along for the ride.
Jean is DTF.
Down to frolic.
Yes.
And we have an iconic moment where Tammy's like, can you conjure a jean jacket? And he jumps on Tammy and says, jean jacket.
Oh, it's so funny. He has some great lines in this one. And I love that the two of them get to go to their first high school party, Tammy and Tina.
Oh my gosh, it is. And I love seeing Tammy not get to be the mean girl, but just so anxious.
Out of her element for once.
Yes. I just wrote this line down because I thought it was really funny. Tammy says, he was taller than my dad. It just made me laugh so much because when you're in 8th grade going into 9th grade, it's so strange. High school, there's people who still look like kids, but then there's people who look like grown adults, and there's hormones, and it's terrifying.
It's such a weird mix of some people sprout early and then some people sprout. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
It's great.
Let's talk about this title. As we said, it's a play on Adventures in Babysitting. So the script cover, which we've mentioned so many times, that Tony Gennaro, one of the animators, does a script cover for each episode, strictly for the cast and crew. This one was a parody of the Adventures in Babysitting movie poster, which is hilarious. It's Elizabeth Shue with the kids climbing up a rope on the outside of a building.
This is a good, fun 80s movie to watch. We watched it a few years ago. Max introduced me to it, and it was a delightful Friday night, so I totally recommend watching it.
Highly recommend it. We'll put the side-by-side of the script cover and the movie poster because it's so well done and it's so fun. Oh, one thing I didn't want to call out while we're talking about the writers and the animators and stuff like that is that one of the co-creators, we pronounced his name wrong probably
a million
times since we started this podcast. I thought it was Jim Dotterive, but I was watching the behind the scenes for this episode as I was preparing for our episode this week, and he pronounces it Jim Dotrieve. So we were
wrong.
We were way, way off.
I think we made it a little fancier.
I thought it was French or something. Dotterive.
Okay, sorry.
Jim Dotrieve from now on. We'll get it right. Speaking of that behind the scenes, which if there ever is one, I'm going to try and post it to our notes and stuff, so you can always go check it out if you want to. But they struggled with the design of Wayne. What Wayne should look like.
Well, that's interesting because I have some notes about him, and I'm very upset they didn't do something.
Okay, well, Maybe we'll also post some of the Wayne designs.
Okay.
But you can see those in the behind the scenes too that I've posted. But we should definitely post a slideshow of all the different Waynes they tried.
Okay, so they got to the animating stage of a whole bunch of them.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Or at least drawings, yes.
Okay.
Renderings, whatever you want to call it. Wayne, who was voiced by Andy Richter, who most people know as Conan O'Brien's lifelong sidekick, but he's a very funny guy and he's in all sorts of things, but he does the voice of Wayne.
That's what I want to be remembered as, somebody's sidekick.
He's it's kind of funny that he's but it's like how Ed McMahon was Johnny Carson's sidekick. It's a very, very famous sidekick.
Maybe it's better to be a sidekick because I wouldn't want to be that famous.
It's the man on the couch. It's the man who sits on the couch and not behind the desk.
Okay.
On a late night show.
Okay.
Some other voices from the episode?
Okay, but can we talk about the Wayne thing?
Oh, let's go back to Wayne.
Okay, so I did a little research. I also want to talk about Adventures of Babysitting. Just so you guys know, the plot is very similar, the movie to the episode. So if you do watch it, you'll see a lot of parallels in the episode. It's really fun and definitely preys on my fear. If I was a babysitter and had the children out of the home and the parents didn't know, that is my nightmare. I was anxious through this whole episode and I was anxious through the whole movie.
Also, obviously, the movie was pre-cell phones and stuff, which, completely changes what happens in a movie if you have your cell phone. I mean, I think the first thing that happens is she takes them out to go pick up her friend. Is why she takes them out, and they get a flat tire
with no cell phone.
Yeah, but
horrifying.
Yeah, you can that would be such an easy solution with a smartphone.
Okay, so here's my situation with Wayne. I love Wayne. I love how much he loves the chinchilla. I love his relationship with Louise. I got so excited because he has glasses, he has brown hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is Henry's brother. Because if you'll remember the first time we really met Princess Little Piddles was in the Militarian Candidate episode where it's Henry's brother who's in Louise's class, reports to his brother about how and why the chinchilla was named Princess Little Piddles. So I really wanted it to be Henry's brother in a callback to that episode, you know?
And it's funny because we were talking about all the designs. He looks just like Henry, the design they came up with.
Just like Henry. I went back and watched the clip from Militarian Candidate, and his brother's name is Huber, or it starts with an H. So my dreams were crushed. But it's if you're going to make him have glasses and look like Henry, why didn't you do that? I really wanted that. Maybe
they just didn't think of it, or just didn't see the connection. But yeah, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
If that was the situation.
Anywho, back to your notes. I just wanted to chat about that a little bit.
Well, sticking with Wayne, I just want to say there's one line Wayne says at the very end when Bob and Louise show up with the chinchilla to give back to Wayne.
Oh, at his house?
Yeah. Wayne says, your dad looks like he'd sit on anything. And Louise replies, oh, he has?
Uh-huh.
If you remember, that is a reference to Full Bars.
Yes!
Where Bob accidentally sits on Teddy's guinea pig, Francis.
That's a good one.
It's such a throwaway line, but if you remember the reference of what she's talking about, it's funny.
So funny. I was really sad that Bob was the culprit there. It was horrifying.
It was a sad, sad death.
Yeah. I mean, and Teddy's just so fragile. You don't want his only pet to die.
Yeah, I worry about Teddy sometimes.
Yeah.
Voice actors, along with Andy Richter as Wayne, we get Paul Rust is back as Jonas. Skylar and I love Paul Rust because we listened to his podcast with Gorley and Rust. And we've said the name of that podcast a few times. If you're a horror movie fan, all kinds of horror movies, crappy ones, good ones, they've got a great podcast. They're both great guys.
They're just delightful to listen to. And obviously they're in the industry. So they just have some great insight, perspective, great chemistry.
Yes, we love hearing Paul Rust whenever he pops up on Bob's Burgers.
Mm-hmm. Then
we get the second appearance of Yuli, the security guard from Burger Boss. He was the security guard at the
arcade.
At the arcade, yeah.
Oh,
he's
cool.
voiced by Robert Smigel, who does speaking of Conan,
mm-hmm.
He does all sorts of voices, but he's best known as Triumph, the insult comic dog or comic insult dog?
Nope.
You don't know?
Does nothing for me.
Okay.
But that's okay. That's very cool. I didn't know that this was their second appearance. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. And that's all the fun facts I have for you. Do we want to get into these credits?
Let's do it.
Okay. So as we mentioned, we are now leaving Wayne's place after Louise decided that Wayne is probably the better person to watch this chinchilla for the weekend.
Did you see how the chinchilla like reaches for Louise in horror? Like this chinchilla loves Louise.
Yeah, and maybe doesn't like how smothering Wayne is.
No.
That was nice, Louise. That was really, really sweet.
Ugh, I know.
You know, me and your mom cheated at trivia tonight.
Really?
Yep. Impressed?
What's wrong with you? You took her to trivia? Sounds like you cheated mom out of a date.
There's my girl.
Date night tonight. Gonna go out, get some food.
Okay. I love that Louise doesn't even miss a beat before switching back over to snarky Louise.
I love her so much. And
it's such a defense mechanism. Trust me, I know from experience.
Okay. We should do some therapy sessions on Patreon.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Like Louise at the therapist office. So Bob saying that's my girl. Kill me.
They're so
my
cute.
Heart.
Bob has such great moments with all of his kids in the series of this show that just make me melt.
I know.
As the end of the episode is happening, we start to hear some music coming in before we get to the end credits. What happens when we cut to the end credits?
We are in the classic kitchen scene for the credits, and Linda is coming from the right to the left, like past the window, and she's singing her song that she made up on the spot from earlier in the episode.
About date night.
But it sounds a little bit different this time.
Have a few drinks. Yeah, we have kids for a little bit. Yeah. Date night tonight. Yeah. Gonna go out, get some food. Have a few drinks. Yeah, we have kids for a little bit.
So she disappears out to the other side of the window, and we still hear her singing the song with some backup vocals and stuff when she suddenly appears back in the window after Louise has delivered the burger into the service window where she normally comes from at the time she normally comes, except she's singing this song at the top of her lungs. Mm-hmm. What did I miss?
Oh, you got it all.
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and spill the beans?
That we're getting an appearance of someone else? Mm-hmm. I'm going to let you spill the beans.
Okay. So, as Linda's dancing in the window, from where Gene normally walks in behind his family in the kitchen, we see Princess Little Piddles.
Scurrying in, like Remy and Ratatouille.
Exactly.
And if only Princess Little Piddles would scurry up Bob's head and start controlling him with his hair.
Maybe then they could have a thriving restaurant.
That's how it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna go out, get some food.
Princess Little Piddles is a dancer, apparently. A really good dancer.
Can we just talk about the first dance move that this chinchilla
little
does?
Shoulders? A
It's
little
just
shoulder roll?
one shoulder.
One shoulder roll.
It's just one isolated back shoulder roll for like 3 or 5.
Turns that shoulder towards you and does a little roll.
I mean, it's a fantastic move.
What other dance moves does Princess Little Piddles do there?
No, he's about to get into it. We have a lot more dance moves, I think.
I'm going to go back. Shoulder roll.
Gonna go out, get some food. Have a few drinks. Yeah, we have kids for a little bit. Yeah. It's just what we do. Date night. Date
Okay,
night.
so
Date night. Gonna go out.
So it looks like he's doing a lot of drumming.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
but he puts his hands all the way up to his eyes and all.
I want to
He's drumming his
see
eyes.
Princess Little Piddles dance to In the Air Tonight
Okay.
because those drum moves are just asking for it.
Okay.
Does the shoulder on the other side? Does it
There's
feel like
almost
kick
a little
steps,
running.
kind of like?
Yeah, almost a running man, like a front inversion running man. Okay, he just kicks his legs out in front of himself.
No, I like the front inversion running man.
Okay.
And then we get Gene just walking by in his burger costume from the right side of the screen to the left, not acknowledging the chinchilla, which is interesting to me. You would think he would want to dance with it, but I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. And why do you think the chinchilla is back in the restaurant?
I think the chinchilla, as we learned from the end of the episode, wants to stay with Louise. And we know the chinchilla can escape.
That's
has
true.
escaped from Wayne and is now back in the restaurant with Louise where
And she can
it wants to
truly
be.
be herself.
Yes.
Like, she's dancing
Yeah.
in a kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Do you think a chinchilla could dance in any other kitchen but Bob's?
No, that's what I'm saying. We got a ratatouille situation
Yeah,
here.
they go after it with a knife.
Yeah.
What's his name? Hugo would just go ape shit.
Yeah.
Such a weird phrase.
Yeah, he can't. It is a weird phrase, right?
It is, definitely.
Where do you think that comes from?
Do apes throw their poop?
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going to the zoo once as a kid and the apes threw feces at people.
At you?
Not me, luckily.
I was once in Austin. I think they call it guano.
Yeah, bat poop.
Yeah. And I was on like the river cruise thing
Uh-huh.
and I was on a date and a bat pooped on me.
Well, you're going underneath bats. What are you supposed to do?
No, it was like the daytime. It was like we were in the open air.
And it pooped on you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Where?
it's good luck.
Where did it
on my
hit?
shoulders. I was wearing like a sleeveless like a
gross.
I know.
Gross. That's different than like apes throwing. Like
You'd
people
rather
deserve
have
that. No, I
what?
think. Oh, you're gonna take an ape out of its natural habitat and
Oh,
have it there for people
sure.
to look at.
I thought you
would
were
throw
saying
my
I
poop at you too.
deserved being pooped on.
Oh no. I don't think you deserve to have bat poop on you.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. I'd say such sweet things.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna take you out to trivia. The perfect date. Highlights, lowlights. Oh, do you want the lyrics to date night?
Yeah. I have to say I like what they did with the melody of this song a lot.
The lyrics to date night. Are you ready? Date night tonight. Gonna go out, get some food, have a few drinks. We have kids for a little bit. And that's it.
I love we're not parents.
Mhm.
I mean, we are to Bisky, but I think the line "forget we have kids for a little bit" is really cute. I like that.
But if you were gonna leave your kids and forget you have kids for a little bit and you went to trivia, that's upsetting.
No.
You can do that with your kids. At
Should have
home.
gone wine tasting. We
Without
know how
trivia.
that went last time they did it.
Yeah, spit wine.
Everywhere.
And they took the kids on that trip too.
Yeah.
Highlights, lowlights of these end credits.
I like the melody that they've given the song.
Me too.
I'm into it. I'm almost like, is it Broadway? Like what is kind of the style of it? I can't quite figure that out. But if the chinchilla wasn't in this, I don't think they're that strong of credits.
I do agree with you that the chinchilla brings it up a bit. I'm glad they did the chinchilla.
Yeah.
I love a Linda song. I love Linda singing. But sometimes when that's just it, that's all they do. It's kind of like,
Yeah, and I don't know. It's like almost anticlimactic. Like they've already gone on the date. It's different when she's singing like the Thanksgiving song in like a Broadway and there's like a spotlight and the song is like so brilliant that we have to hear it again. Like Pass the Cranberry Sauce or The Gravy Boat. Yeah, so I'm like, okay.
yeah, I'm with you. Should we score them?
Yeah.
We score on a scale of 1 to 10 H's at the end of Tina's
I'm in a little bit of a mood right now. I'm not going to lie.
Is it too close to lunchtime?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it a 6.
Oh, wow. I'm going to give it a 6 too.
Did I influence you though?
No, it's like, again, that is mostly the chinchilla carrying the weight there for me. That shoulder move bumps it up
Okay.
for me. I think it would be lower.
Yeah. That
I don't
shoulder
know-
move is iconic.
I don't know
will
why
give it
it's like
that.
the song doesn't do it for me necessarily out of all the Linda songs, like you were saying. It's just not my top Linda song. And her dancing around the restaurant is always fun and
Yeah.
is always great. And it still got over half,
Nothing unexpected.
over 5, but yeah.
Nothing unexpected. I was like, I pray to God that this chinchilla comes because this needs something else, and he came. So I wasn't like, oh my God, I never expected that to happen.
Maybe the chinchilla the kids aren't there prepping already. Bob's just flipping, Linda's singing, and then Chilla comes in, dances, but then the kids are trying to catch the chinchilla and running through. And every time the chinchilla comes onto the screen, it does a little dance move, but then runs off.
I think that's adorable.
There you go.
Also,
Bumps it up just a couple points at least.
as we were discussing, Bob's now owns Disney. I know Bob's like, they're still so insular in their own world, but you could do a Ratatouille parody.
That would be funny
They
too.
parody
yes.
movies all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that was your idea.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
I think that would have been funny also.
I would have not expected that at all. Anywho, those are my thoughts.
Those are the end credits to Adventures in Chinchilla-sitting. Thank you, everyone, for listening. As we mentioned earlier, go subscribe at Patreon. We've got a lot of fun stuff over there. Patreon.com/Bob's Credits. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, Bob's Credits. Leave us a review, 5 stars, please, on the Spotify app or on Apple Podcasts. And anything else you want to tell everyone before we get out of here, Skylar?
I'm going to say stay saucy.
An original. The original.
Because Linda and Bob were
A little sauced.
a little sauced.
Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of sauce.
Yeah.
Got it.